perceptions of your work among some of the writers in America have been that they have sort of characterized your discussions of introversion and extroversion as suggesting that the world was made up of only two kinds of people, introverts on one hand and extroverts on the other. And I'm sure you've been aware of, many of our people looking at things this way. And of course, would you like to comment about that? In other words, would you perceive the world being made up of only people or extreme introverts, people that are extreme extroverts?
Well, Bismarck once said, God may protect me against my friends. With my enemies, I can deal myself alone. You know how people are. They catch a word, and then everything is schematized along that word. There is no such thing as a pure extrovert or a pure introvert.
Yes.
Such a man would be in the lunatic asylum. Those are only terms to designate a certain penchant, a certain tendency. For instance, the tendency to be more influenced by environmental influences or more influenced by the subjective factor. That's all.
Yes.
And you see, there are people who are very well balanced and are just as much influenced from within as they are from without,
yes.
or just as little.
Yes.
And so with all the finer classifications,
yes.
they are only sort of point de repère, points for orientation.
Certainly then, this whole matter of extremes, introversion and extroversion, as you say, it's sort of a schematic approach to sort of hang an idea on, an approach.
Yeah.
But it would be, as you say, ridiculous to say
you
that
see,
people...
my whole scheme of typology is merely a sort of orientation. Namely, there is such a factor as introversion, there is such a factor as extroversion. The classification of individuals means nothing at all. This is only the instrumentarium,
yes.
for the practical psychologists, yes. To explain, for instance, a husband to a wife, or vice versa. For instance, it is very often the case, one could almost say, it is almost a rule, but I don't want to make too many rules, you see, in order not to be schematic,
yeah.
That an introvert marries an extrovert for compensation, or another type marries the counter type to complement himself, for instance.
Well, Dr. Jung, of course, tied in with your typology and quotation marks of